This is Emerson College. Landmarks of New England's historic past dot the nearby downtown area, but at Emerson, they are blazing new trails in education for today and for the future.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the first annual Emerson Evie Awards. Tonight we will be honoring students from throughout the college who have put their hard work, time, and creativity into the productions.
Emerson was founded not on what is, but what might be, the endless possibilities of the human imagination.
I never get to do that.
To my class of 2019.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, 2019.
We done did it, and I'm so proud of you.
We're done with college.
We did it!
And so, life after Emerson College, after Boston.
Sad to be leaving, but I'm excited to go out in the world and use everything I've learned.
It's been a long journey, but I feel like I'm ready to fly out.
I could not have done my college journey without
the amazing friendships that I made here at Emerson with people who I love so much, I can't even put it into words.
For all the faculty at Emerson College, they've been super generous, super great, super knowledgeable.
The women in my life who have been such an incredible example for me and taught me what it means to be a strong, kick-ass lady.
Everyone who's here today in the audience supporting me.
Thank you to my parents, my mom and dad.
I know you're seated somewhere there in the audience. Thank you so much
for being here and supporting me throughout my entire journey.
For always trusting me, even though I changed my plans a bunch of times.
Thank you to my entire family.
Mom, Dad.
My grandma and my grandpa.
For my sister, Paola.
Appy, Uncle, Auntie.
My mother and my dog.
Thank you to my family.
This is for you.
To my mom and dad, I want to say 谢谢你们一直支持我。
your hands in the air. Aha! How about this side over here? Hey, hey, hey. With your hands in the air. It is also a super special day too. And we would like to say Happy Mother's Day for all the moms that have dreamed to see our kids here right now. Let's give it up to all the mothers in this arena. Congratulations, class of 2019. Let's see this side over here. Let's put our hands together. Cha, 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 cha. Hey, hey. How about this side over here? Cha, cha. Let's welcome class of 2019. Let's give them our love. They worked so hard for this. Cha, cha, cha. is how we congratulate them. When I say hey, you say ha. When I say hey, you say ha. Congratulations. And I say hey, you say ha. Hey. 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 Ha. Ha ha. You know the drill. You know the drill. When I say ha, you say hey. Ha. 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 Hey, hey, hey.
Good morning. I'm Jeff Greenhart, Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Emerson College and an alum, and it's my distinct honor to convene our 2019 undergraduate commencement exercises. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I welcome all of you on this happy occasion and congratulate those of you who will soon receive a well-earned degree. Class of 2019, give yourself a round of applause for a job well done. I want to pay tribute to the distinguished faculty of Emerson College. They're responsible for the outstanding education our students receive. Please join me in a round of applause for the faculty. Now let's also give your parents, families, loved ones, and friends a round of applause for helping you reach this goal. Thank you. We begin with the invocation, and please remain standing. Please stand.
Emerson community, families, friends, and honored guests. In this moment of invocation, we are called to engage in a practice that is ancient, with deep roots across a great many spiritual traditions, and yet it often feels unfamiliar, unexpected, and new. An invocation is, at its core, an invitation into stillness and reverence for that which we consider sacred. On a day filled with busyness and movement, our minds filled with logistics, maybe running on too few hours of sleep, and our hearts beating as quickly as those drums that we just heard, we are standing at a threshold. And so we take this moment of invocation as a sacred pause to invite, to acknowledge, and to thank all that has given us guidance and inspiration on our journeys leading up to today. As is our tradition here at Emerson, we begin by first acknowledging the land upon which we stand and upon which we have lived and learned during our college journeys. We are on the ancestral and unceded lands of the Massachusetts people, whose name was appropriated by this Commonwealth. We pay respect to the Massachusetts elders, past and present, and we acknowledge the truth of violence perpetrated in the name of this country, and we make a commitment to uncovering that truth. So too, in this moment of invocation, we also acknowledge and celebrate the diversity of spiritual paths and faith traditions that are present in this room right now. And we celebrate that we find the sacred in so many different ways. For some of us, this is in the mystery of God. For others, we find the sacred within the wisdom of our ancestors, or in the beauty of nature, or in sparks of creativity, or in pursuit of justice. However it is that you find sacredness in your life, I invite you to pause with me now and invite into your mind and into your heart all that you consider sacred. In this moment, you may close your eyes if you wish, or to simply let your eyes just rest and your body relax, taking a deep breath together in stillness and in community. And let us pause together and invoke that which has inspired and guided us until this point. Holy mystery, known by many names, in this moment we invoke your presence, and yet we know that you are already right here. You are here, here in the feeling of love and connection that exists between classmates and mentors and family and friends. You are here, here in the sense of gratitude for all the work and accomplishments, the struggles and the uncertainties that we have faced. You are here, here in the courage to face the unknown journeys that await us. Yes, source of inspiration, holy presence, you are indeed already here in this place, blessing us with love, with gratitude, and with courage as we embark on this day of celebration. Amen.
It is my pleasure to announce the winners of this year's Teaching Awards. I will ask that the winners please stand when I read their names. The Helene and Stanley Miller Award for Outstanding Teaching goes to Laura Gluffling-Pham, Director of Clinical Education in Communication Sciences and Disorders, for showing remarkable dedication and creativity and for encouraging students to master their fields of study. The Alumni Award for Teaching Innovation goes to Steve Himmer, Senior Lecturer in Writing, Literature, and Publishing, for engaging students in active learning in and out of the classroom and for fostering a stimulating and creative learning environment. Congratulations to both of you. To confer special status, I'll ask the following professors to please stand and be recognized. Jim Masak of the Department of Visual and Media Arts. Jean Stawartz of the Department of Visual and Media Arts. We also want to recognize 3 retiring faculty members who are not able to join us today. Pablo Medina of the Department of Writing, Literature, and Publishing. John Scoyles of the Department of Writing, Literature, and Publishing. And Michael Weiler of the Department of Communication Studies. Faculty are the heart of the Academy here at Emerson, and in Professors Masak, Stawartz, Medina, Scoyles, and Weiler, we have 5 towering presences. Their intellectual and creative energy have contributed immeasurably to our campus culture and to the larger academic and creative communities to which they and we belong. Their expert knowledge, their pedagogical skill, their deep compassion, and their unwavering dedication that they have all brought to their work with their students and with their colleagues stand as models for what a life of excellence looks like in the Academy. This morning, it is my privilege to share with you that on the occasion of the retirement of these distinguished faculty members, the college's Board of Trustees has voted to confer on them the status of Professor Emerita and Emeritus. They will now step back from their day-to-day involvement in the work of Emerson College, but I want to say that I hope they will not go too far. We will continue to need their wisdom and counsel, even as we will continue to seek their good company and fine conversation. You are now, as you have always been, an integral part of our community, and it is our good fortune to have you as our colleagues and our friends. Please join me in congratulating Professors Masak and Stawartz on their retirement.
Eduardo J. Padron, President of Miami-Dade College, economist, Presidential Medal of Freedom honoree. A U.S. American by choice, you arrived in the United States as a teenage refugee in 1961. You hold degrees from Miami-Dade College, Florida Atlantic University, and the University of Florida, where you earned a master's degree and a PhD in economics. Since 1995, you have served as president of Miami-Dade College, leading the largest degree-granting institution of higher education in the United States. MDC enrolls and graduates more historically underrepresented students than any other institution in the United States, including the largest numbers of Latinxers and African Americans. Under your leadership, MDC is recognized nationally for an enduring commitment to its urban community, advocacy for social and economic change, and as a trailblazer and innovator for student access and success initiatives. Time magazine named you one of the 10 best college presidents. You graced the cover of Florida Trends magazine's 2010 inaugural Floridian of the Year issue. And in 2011, the Washington Post named you one of the 8 most influential college presidents in the United States. You are the recipient of the Carnegie Corporation Centennial Academic Leadership Award, Citizen Service Award from Voices for National Service, TIAA Hesburgh Award for Leadership Excellence, the Aspen Institute Ascend Fellowship, and a member of the U.S. News and World Report STEM Hall of Fame. 5 American presidents selected you to serve on posts of national prominence over the course of your distinguished career. In 2016, President Barack Obama awarded you the prestigious Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States, for your prominent national voice in cultivating access and inclusion in higher education. You know well that an education is the most powerful and valuable tool our society offers. Your steadfast commitment to advancing the opportunities for students, particularly those who are underrepresented, has made a marked difference in the lives of thousands of students. In recognition of his contributions and unparalleled dedication to this most worthy cause, President Pelton, it is my honor to present Eduardo J. Padron as a candidate for an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree at Emerson College.
Eduardo Padron, by virtue of the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Board of Trustees of Emerson College, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, which you have so justly earned with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto, and welcome you warmly into the distinguished community of Emerson alumni.
Mr. President, trustees, academic leaders, faculty, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, I feel extremely privileged to receive the honorary doctorate in human letters from this great institution and its most distinguished president, Dr. Lee Pelton. It is with great and deep sense of gratitude, as well as humility, that I thank you for the honor of becoming a member of this most impressive Emerson College community. I can proudly say to you today that I'm very, very proud to become, how you say it, Emersonian? Wonderful, thank you very much.
Nell Irvin Painter,
award-winning historian, public intellectual, Renaissance woman. Your impulse to ask challenging questions and your incisive mind led author Ta-Nehisi Coates to write of you, "I found her to be one of the sharpest people I'd ever engaged." Your first 7 books, alongside numerous articles, reviews, and essays, take readers through the history of African Americans and the South, illuminating chapters of the American story too often in the shadows, and, in the words of essayist Gerald Early in reviewing Sojourner Truth, peeling away the myths and legends that surround our history. In the history of white people, you chronicle the evolution of what is one of the most deeply ingrained and pernicious myths of our nation, the existence of race, whiteness in particular, as a biologically based, consistently defined proxy for personhood. Your scholarship has earned you acclaim from multiple quarters. Sojourner Truth, A Life, a Symbol, earned the nonfiction prize of the Black Caucus of the American Library Association. And Standing at Armageddon, the United States, 1877 to 1919, won the Letitia Brown Memorial Publication Prize. You were presented with the American Historical Association's Award for Scholarly Distinction, the Centennial Medal of the Harvard University Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, a Guggenheim Foundation Fellowship, and the Brown Publication Prize, awarded by the Association of Black Women Historians, among others. As the Edwards Professor Emerita of American History at Princeton University and director of Princeton's African American Studies program, you passed along your probing curiosity, deep knowledge, and scholarly rigor to the next generation of historians, writers, and intellectuals. Upon retiring from Princeton at the age of 64, you returned to the classroom to follow a long-delayed calling as a mixed media artist. Your resulting memoir, Old in Art School, brings what the Los Angeles Times calls your fierce intelligence to questions not just of age, but also race and what it means to be an artist. In recognition of contributions to historical and artistic inquiry, President Pelton, it is my honor to present Nell Irvin Painter as a candidate for an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree at Emerson College.
Nell Irvin Painter, by virtue of the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, which you have so justly earned, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto, and welcome you warmly into the distinguished community of Emerson alumni.
Thank you so much. This is such a lovely honor. I just want to say a few words to those of you who are graduating, those of you who are going out into this world of ours that is so divided and sometimes cruel. I want you to remember that it's normal to see, not necessarily to participate in, but to see instances of injustice or cruelty. But I want to exhort you not to be a bystander, but to be a citizen, to take part in correcting injustices, even on the everyday level. As the Black Panther Party said, let's see if you'll applaud for what I'm about to say. As the Black Panther Party said, If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Jose Antonio Vargas, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, Emmy-nominated filmmaker, and tireless advocate and voice for undocumented immigrants. When you were 12, you came to America from the Philippines. Years later, you learned your identity documents were fraudulent. That discovery formed the basis of much of your writing and became the motivation behind your advocacy as an adult. As a high school senior, you showed bravery to come out as a gay man. In 2011, you showed unimaginable bravery to come out as an undocumented immigrant. You have written about your life as an undocumented immigrant for the New York Times Magazine and a cover story in Time Magazine. You pushed media outlets to use the term undocumented for immigrants instead of illegal, which the Associated Press adopted in 2013. Your autobiographical film, Documented, received a 2015 NAACP Image Award nomination for Outstanding Documentary. And your book, Dear America, Notes from an Undocumented Citizen, was praised by the Washington Post because it showed readers how living without papers is possible, both difficult and commonplace, and too often heartbreaking. You understand the power of storytelling to transcend politics. In 2011, you founded Define American, a nonprofit organization that opens the dialogue about immigrants, identity, and citizenship in the US. Define American has been recognized by Fast Company as one of the most innovative companies in the world. Most recently, you co-produced the Broadway play, What the Constitution Means to Me, which was nominated for 2 Tony Awards, including Best Play. You began your career at the Washington Post, where you're part of the team that covered the 2007 shootings at Virginia Tech, earning you a Pulitzer Prize for breaking news reporting. You also covered the HIV epidemic in Washington, D.C., which led you to write and co-produce the documentary, The Other City. You are highly respected by your community. In 2012, your alma mater, San Francisco State University, named you Alumnus of the Year. And last year, your hometown of Mountain View, California, named an elementary school in your honor. In recognition of these many contributions and achievements, President Pelton, it is my honor to present Jose Antonio Vargas as a candidate for an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree at Emerson College.
Jose Antonio Vargas, by the virtue of power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Board of Trustees of Emerson College, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, which you have so justly earned, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto, and welcome you warmly into the distinguished community of Emerson alumni.
You gotta love America. I can get an honorary degree from Emerson College, but I still can't get a green card. Yes. I just want to say 2 quick things. When you honor me, what you're really doing is you're honoring undocumented students and their immigrant families all across this country. Who must know that our lives are worth more than pieces of papers we don't have, and laws and policies that people don't even understand. When you honor me, since today is Mother's Day, you're also honoring my mother. who I'm sure when she put me on that plane, 26 years ago, I'm not sure she ever imagined this. I am so thankful for her sacrifice, and I hope that all of you, all of the graduates, hope you know the sacrifices that it took for our parents and for our grandparents to get to where we are. Thank you for having me here.
Soledad O'Brien, award-winning journalist and documentarian, author, truth teller, and trailblazer. You have dedicated your career to covering some of the most important events of our time and to documenting the lives of Americans whose stories often go untold. In doing so, you have enlightened and educated us about our nation's history and the biases that exist in our society. Your powerful storytelling challenges us in the very best ways to rethink our views and assumptions around divisive issues. Growing up on Long Island, New York, the daughter of immigrant parents from Australia and Cuba, you learned how to use your voice thoughtfully and to take a stand where no one else would. Your internship advisor and Emerson professor, Luann Reeb, recalls how, at a very young age, you always, quote, knew which stories mattered. Today, your clear sense of purpose comes through in your commitment to illuminating the voices and stories of those who have been marginalized. The National Association of Black Journalists said your Black in America series offered extraordinary and gripping stories of successful community leaders who are improving the lives of African Americans. You have been recognized for your work in numerous ways. The Morehouse School of Medicine created the Soledad O'Brien Freedom's Voice Award, and you were the first recipient of the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health Gudermot's Humanitarian Award. You received Emmy and Peabody Awards for your coverage of Hurricane Katrina and the Deepwater Horizon Gulf Coast oil spill, and an Alfred DuPont Award for your coverage of the Southeast Asia tsunami. You are also the recipient of the Hispanic Heritage Vision Award and the NAACP President's Award. You founded the Starfish Media Group production company, which is dedicated to telling empowering stories of race, class, wealth, poverty, and opportunity. And with your husband, you founded the Power Her Foundation, which helps young women attend and be successful in college. You have said, quote, if you can tell stories about human beings, you've done your job. In recognition of her achievement and her accomplishments in journalism, education, and a job very, very well done, President Pelton, it is in my honor to present Soledad O'Brien as a candidate for an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree at Emerson College.
Soledad O'Brien, by the virtue of the power invested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Board of Trustees of Emerson College, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, which you have so justly earned, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto, and welcome you warmly into the distinguished company of Emerson alumni, and I invite you to deliver this morning's commencement address.
congratulations to all my honorees who are up here as well, and of course to the graduates of the class of 2019. We look pretty good. Wow, what an honor to be asked to speak to you today, because it's a day that is so important to you. And let's be real, it's more important to your parents. Some people are getting off the payroll today. Listen, right? I once sat where you sat on not super comfortable folding chairs, waiting for the speaker to get on with it already. I'm the only thing really standing between you and your degrees. And I am very much aware that some of you just rolled in from last night. I get it. We don't need to go into that. And others of you have, of course, been preparing for this day since you arrived on campus. And I think for everyone, this really is the culmination of years of hard work and dedication, of long nights and challenging projects, of getting it done, of focusing on issues that matter, of a desire to create meaningful work. Today, you are surrounded by the people who love and support you, the people who got you here, your sisters and brothers, your parents and grandparents, whose sacrifice and whose constant belief in you, maybe when you didn't even believe in yourself, has helped you get here, has helped you achieve. And so, to the parents here today, congratulations to you, because I know that you are looking down on this sea of candidates, and even though they're grown people, you're like, that's my baby. Right? I know, I have 4 kids, and I know exactly what the anticipation of this moment has been like. And so I'd like to ask anybody who's put $1 into helping someone here graduate, stand up and be celebrated for a job well done, parents. That it is emotional. Your baby is about to fly out into the real world. Well, let me lay some of your fears to rest. They are not really leaving, and I don't mean that metaphorically, like they're not leaving. These independent young people are gonna move back in with you. Let me tell you, if it's not this year, it's probably next year. When I left home for college, my parents literally knocked down the wall of my bedroom so they could expand their bedroom, like 2 days after I left. I still moved home twice. And to the graduates, I know today is bittersweet. I know you are taking in this moment your friends, your experiences. This is where you grew up intellectually, where you developed those deep and meaningful friendships and bonds. And maybe you're worried. Maybe you worry that with graduation today, you lose some of those connections. Your graduation means, you fear, that you're saying goodbye to all that you've known here at Emerson. Well, let me put those fears to rest too. This place of higher learning will be part of your life forever. The Alumni Association is small but mighty, and they will track you down and ask you for money for the rest of your lives. You're laughing like I'm joking. I'm not joking. Literally, some of you will move overseas, and you'll still get, sometimes your parents can't get through to you, and the Alumni Association will manage to reach out to you. Now, since this is a graduation, we all know how this is supposed to work. I should get up here, spout some advice. You all should dutifully nod and listen. The only problem with that is I don't really give advice, and I'll tell you why. Many years ago, a woman's magazine asked me what was the best advice I had ever gotten from my mother, and it's really Mother's Day, right? So this is a good time to tell this story. It was a Mother's Day feature, and they said, we're gonna give you a half-page photo with you and your mom hugging, and then you could have like the line of what the great advice was. Now, my mom, who passed away recently, was never a warm, fluffy, sweet mom. She just wasn't. She was like tough immigrant mom. And so I said, I think that's a really terrible idea. And they said, no, best advice your mom ever gave, hugging. I said, okay, well, my mom's best advice was, most people are idiots. Needless to say, we never made it into the magazine, and I never heard from her again. But really, I think it was some of her best advice to me, because I think she meant some people are idiots, and if you listen to them, you're a bigger idiot. You will be told in many various ways all the things that you cannot do, that you should not do, that you will absolutely, positively fail if you try to do, and so, if I may ask, please do not listen. Most people are idiots, and sometimes they just don't know. They're speaking from fear. And as you head into the world today, you need to be fearless. Problems can be solved, and this is always the way it's been. That's not an answer. And nuance and discussion can be inserted back into our most critical conversations that are happening right now in our world. My parents were role models in not listening. They spent much of their lives ignoring people's bad advice. They're immigrants, as was mentioned. They came to America to pursue their education. My mom, black and Cuban, my dad, white and Australian. And they came to the United States at exactly the moment when interracial relations were tense and hostile, the late 1950s. And they met because they both attended daily mass. My dad had a car. I should mention, any Catholics here, you know the whole entire point of the story, you should go to mass. That's how these stories generally go. My dad had a car, so he would drive to church, but my mom didn't, and so she would walk. And my dad would basically hit on my mom. There's no way to clean that up. He would pull over his car, wind down the window. Young people, there was a time we didn't have power windows. And he'd ask her if she wanted a ride, and she'd say, no, thank you, because you don't take a ride from someone you don't know well, apparently, even to church. And day after day, every single day, he would ask her if she wanted a ride, and she'd say, no, thank you. And then one day she said yes, and they made a date to go on a date. But because it was Baltimore, Maryland in 1958, every restaurant they went to, yay, Baltimore, every restaurant they went to wouldn't serve them together. They'd say to my dad, you can come in. They'd say to my mom, you cannot come in, and you certainly cannot come in and sit together. And so after being turned away from restaurant after restaurant after restaurant, my mother brought my father back to her apartment and whipped him up an amazing meal, fabulous Cuban cook. And the entire point of her story was not, when she would share it with me and my 3 sisters, and sometimes my 2 brothers too, wasn't about injustice or about discrimination or about just unfair policies. It was, girls, if you could cook, you can get a man. Never forget that. So I can't cook, but I like to say I can't make it, but I can make it happen. That's just as good. When my parents got married at the end of 1958, interracial marriage was illegal in Maryland and in 16 other states, so they drove to Washington, D.C., and they got hitched, and then they drove back and lived illegally as a married couple in Baltimore. And when their friends said, whatever you do, don't have children because biracial kids will have no place in this world, I'm number 5 of 6. My parents were very good at not listening to bad advice. But they knew that they were on the right side of history, and they were willing to let everybody else catch up. In fact, by 1967, which was the year my little brother was born, that year was the very year the Supreme Court would overturn the ban on interracial marriage. My parents had 6 kids. Their illegal marriage was now legal. My mother used to say, if you wait for people to get with what you're doing, you might be waiting a long time. And I'd asked my mom, so what was it like in the early 1960s? My 2 older sisters were born in Baltimore, and she said, you know, people would spit on us as we walked. That's what I said, what? And I said, oh my God, what did you do? And she said, she used to call me Lovey, and she said, I think the things that really framed for me how I thought about journalism. She said, Lovey, we knew America was better than that. And by that, she was also opting in to make the kind of changes that needed to be made. That it wasn't, so we're gonna stand back and let other people, we are going to opt in. And for me, understanding the need to be part of that solution and that change and that making things better, that's what made me wanna tell stories. When I sat where you sat, I wanted to know all the details. Will I have a career? Will I have a good job? Will I be passionate about that career? Will I be successful? Will I make money? Yes, yes, yes. But those are, I think, kind of the wrong questions. A better question, I think, that will lead you to a great career and great passion and great success is, what can I contribute? Because I truly believe that's what actually matters. And not everybody can say that their education has prepared them for making contributions, but you can. So I don't think you really need advice, except for don't listen to stupid advice. But do seek out others' stories and really try to hear them. I think the media at times is not the best translator of others' stories, and you can change that. Try to hear people, especially in this environment where we live in our information bubbles. Try to really listen. I've tried to make a career out of that, and it has been rewarding because I think when you really listen, then in turn, you can have an impact. And remember, as you calculate student loan debt and maybe even starter home debt, your real debt as a human being is to other human beings. And you are better prepared than others to repay that debt. Because I think it's with facts and with data and with evidence and hard work that you can help us undergird the real stories that help us understand each other. Our differences, for sure, our similarities, and those things are what make the world better. I started my career in TV news at a time when cable news was just getting started, and one of my very first jobs was to carry the cell phone. Cell phones used to be the size of a brick, maybe even like 2 bricks. And literally my job was to carry that thing around. It was very heavy. And there was only the evening news. Everybody waited for the evening news to do a story. Education stories back then were considered soft and only for women. Stories about childcare were considered to be less weighty and important. And today, of course, news breaks all day, every day, and we grapple with education policy. We haven't figured out ways to solve how do you find good childcare for working parents. And today's social media allows us just to funnel the stories and perspectives that we care about into our lives and lose everything else. Elected officials, let's be real, often choose the live shots in the halls of Congress rather than work with their fellow elected officials because the game isn't solutions, it's owning the narrative. And I think sometimes all of that is why we're here today. People lack a faith in institutions, media, government, because they feel like they're not being served by them. And we're at a time when the truth itself is under attack. Today, the media often chases stories and chases eyeballs rather than camp out and dig into complicated and nuanced conversations. This has to change, and people in this room are in position to change it. And every day we shout at each other, conservatives believe this, liberals believe this, but it has been my experience that regardless of someone's political beliefs under their very firmly held positions, people want the same things. They really do. They want better and safer communities. They want schools that serve their kids. They want opportunities for good jobs, and they want a chance to be heard. Those things and those needs are everywhere, among everyone. And while this country is divided among partisan lines, let's be real, there is still a lot that we share. You might not know it because we don't talk about it a lot, but it exists. And I think that's where we have to start. If you focus on problems and not solutions, if you focus on the litany of differences and not, okay, there is a sliver of common ground where we can start a conversation. If you focus on your amazingly awesome, snarky Twitter account, but not actually getting to know human beings, you probably won't solve any problems, and you definitely will not change the world. I became a reporter because I wanted to tell stories about people, and then pretty quickly I realized the best way to do that was to hand them the mic and let them tell their own stories. And I wanted to ask tough questions and understand people's lives and their perspectives. And my job was never about interviewing famous people and political pundits. It's about understanding people and their hopes and their dreams and their choices and their fears. And sometimes I think we have forgotten that. When I started reporting documentaries like Black in America and Latino in America and Muslim in America, giving the microphone to undercovered communities was considered groundbreaking, which is even hard to believe. And we did a documentary on coal miners in West Virginia and female rescue workers at Ground Zero, and documentaries on New Orleans post-Katrina and Haiti. And we looked at urban schools and rural schools and found that actually they have a lot in common. We found coal miners who wanted to build solar farms and conservative Republicans and liberal Democrats who were able to meet in the middle on some things and build some consensus, not on everything and not even on a lot of things sometimes, but on some things. And so I've tried in my work to reveal more about America through the voices of the people who are ignored or misunderstood and give some perspective. And I think if we start with understanding that an individual's dream doesn't have to be at odds with somebody else's dream, and that we could potentially be part of the same whole, that a national dream could stand for something, I think we can actually get there. So I will encourage you today to be fearless in searching for the truth. Not the truth that someone's told you, or even the conventional wisdom, which sometimes we take for truth, but to go to people and talk to them about the truth of their lives as they're lived and their experiences, and then fight for those things to get to a platform. Whether you're a journalist on air, or you're in a boardroom, or you're just in society, there is a myth that people only want to hear about those things that reflect the things that they identify with. I remember when we started doing our Black in America documentary series, people would literally say to me, "So don't make it like too black." I was like, "This is called Black in America." But you know what I said? Okay. It would go on to become one of the top-rated series. Why? Because it told stories of people. And our documentary about the women of Ground Zero looked at women who'd been left out of the narrative of rescue workers, just told a different story, and it won, which is important in the ratings war, because it just told a different story. You have the power to change what we see. News can serve people. It doesn't have to be talking heads screaming at each other. It actually could be people who dig into the reality and facts and data and undergirding a narrative about our stories. And that's not just for journalism students, that's for all of us. We can demand more. It really matters. The best thing about my job, and this will be the best thing about your careers, using your research, your work, your exploration, you can make the world better. Asking the difficult questions, the challenging questions, standing up for the truth, and inserting facts back into our national discourse. And it's not enough to just do the work. You actually have to make sure you share the work and make sure those narratives reach a broader audience. Don't forget that ultimately you serve people, and they deserve your best. They deserve to be heard by you. You have a tremendous opportunity. And my best and most important stories have always come from people whose names you'll never know and never remember, because they're stories of the American dream. And regardless of the next step that you're taking, you can work to understand people where they are. You have succeeded in learning how to learn, but I think to make a life, not just a living, requires learning what it really means to be responsible to other people. And if you're cynical and snarky, and I get that 2019, that's kind of what it's all about. I think that's a laziness. I think it's much harder to be thoughtful and kind and compassionate and take those moments every single day to stand up for someone, whether they look like you or they don't look like you, and to try to really work for solutions. It's hard. It is hard. What will make you good at your jobs will be showing up and doing the work, and what will make you great at your jobs will to be doing all those things you will never get credit for and you'll never get paid for. To infuse every single day with humanity and authenticity and honesty and fearlessness and compassion, those things that we sometimes seem not to celebrate in people, but trust me, that is what makes people great. Now, generally speaking, I hate when speakers throw out quotes like, "It was the great Teddy Roosevelt who once said," but there's one quote that is worth learning, memorizing, and I'm gonna share it with you. And it comes from Dante, so you know it's hardcore. Dante, he didn't play. And he said this: "The hottest places in hell are reserved for, Dante, the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in times of great moral crisis maintain their neutrality, right? There is nothing worse than doing nothing and saying nothing when your voice is needed. And as you head out into the world, to jobs and new experiences and more education, never ever forget that your purpose is to serve. We're counting on you, no pressure. Congratulations, the class of 2019.
I now have the honor of introducing today's senior class speaker, Nupur Amin. Nupur is originally from Ahmedabad, India, and came to Emerson as a communication studies major. She graduates today with a concentration in dispute resolution and negotiation and a minor in leadership and management. During her time at Emerson, Nupur has served as a senior resident assistant, peer mentor, and student ambassador. She hopes to work as a trainer, finding ways to make communicative conflict resolution a part of everyday interpersonal skills. Please join me in welcoming our senior class speaker, Nupur Amin, to the podium.
Welcome to the Emerson faculty, administration, and President Pelton, to the Board of Trustees, honored guest, friends, and family, and welcome to you, Emerson class of 2019. I want to say the biggest, most hearty congratulations to some people without whom today would not be possible. To every mom and mother figure who cried each time we left home after another break, whether those were sad or happy tears, we'll just never know. To every dad and father figure who has tried so hard to remember the names of all our friends, but has found 4 years to just not be enough time. To every sibling and family member who offered care, and to the ones who couldn't care less. To every friend who has wiggled their way into the title of family. To every dear significant other, and to others who are not so significant. Congratulations. We know today is just as close to your hearts as it is to ours. Thank you for being there every step of the way. We wouldn't be who we are without you all. I want to take a moment to say a special thank you to a few very important people. First, to my parents. Mom and Dad, you have given me the world, and everything I am is because of you. You have raised me to be powerful and fearless, and I am thankful for it every day. To my partner and friends, thank you for always being wonderfully kind and supportive and helping me create a home away from home. Finally, thank you to all faculty who have mentored, supported, and furthered our work. And I have to say, Israel Abrilkas, thank you. Thank you for being my guiding light and introducing me to the work that makes my heart beat every day. Let's give a huge round of applause to all our lifelines. A poet, Orson Shire, once wrote, "I held an atlas in my lap, ran my fingers over the whole world, and whispered, 'Where does it hurt?' It answered, 'Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere.'" I know the world we're about to step out into is hurting in so many ways, but I know even more so that if there is a group of individuals capable of healing those wounds, it is the one sitting before me. We've seen it time and time again. We saw it when we took to the streets to march for Black lives, to march for women, to march for Flint, for trans acceptance, for immigrants, for Muslims, for equal pay. We saw it when we took Emerson by storm, demanding that we do better for our community over and over until we were heard, because we know how important it is for us to speak up for each other, to help heal each other, and help ignite each other's passions. Whether we speak our loudest truths from atop a stage, from behind a camera, through our pens, or from a podium, whether we speak them as performers, speech pathologists, playwrights, or stage managers, speech writers, news anchors, cinematographers, or advocates, we are working to tell the stories that have for so long been spoken in whispers. We are charging into the world, saying pause, watch, listen. Let our work show you that there is space in the world not just for the stories of the conventionally beautiful, of the educated, of the rich, the able-bodied, the cisgender, the white, the powerful, the Gryffindors. Let our work show you that there is space in the world for the stories of people of color, of immigrants, of every gender and every sexuality, of every economic background. Let our work show you why none of these is more or less than the other. We've learned by now that the world is quite eager to dictate our agenda if we let it. Now the world will learn that as Emersonians, we do not shrink ourselves for someone else's comfort. We choose not to exist in spaces that don't make room for everyone. We choose to challenge social constructs, pop culture, institutions, even governments, instead of letting them decide the way we think and engage. Despite knowing the struggles that will come and the patience it will take, when there has been hurt around us, Emersonians have always stood up. May we continue to stand up for our truths. May we speak with fearless conviction. May we reclaim the spaces that we know belong to us. May we stride through the world always equipped with Band-Aids, chocolate, and resilience, ready to tend to every wound, no matter how slight or deep. So the next time someone holds an atlas in their lap, it doesn't feel quite so heavy. Wherever we stand, may we be the light of that place, and may we never, ever again be within 50 yards of a Super Bowl parade. Dear class of 2019, welcome to wherever you are. Have an incredible time growing and healing and journeying to wherever it is your atlas calls you next. This is your life. You made it this far. May you go further still, and may you create revolutions wherever you go. Thank you, and congratulations.
The Dean's Award is given each year to a graduating senior who has demonstrated outstanding commitment to the Emerson community. As a group, your class posed a particularly difficult challenge, as there are many people sitting out in the room today who have made a difference and are worthy of recognition. As we reviewed nominations, however, and thought about what it means to make an impact on our campus, one person continued to stand out from the crowd. 4 years ago, this person made the trek to Boston from their home in Virginia, excited to start their college career and begin their studies as a media arts production major. As a first-year student, our recipient was a resident of Paramount and immediately began a pattern of making a difference around campus. Early on, our recipient was involved with Ebony and Emerson Christian Fellowship as well as with the Emerson Dance Company and Anime at Emerson, where they were elected treasurer. Serving as a front-of-a-house usher for Arts Emerson and a studio assistant for the Office of the Arts, this kept our recipient busy and helped them become known around campus. Our recipient values the bonds of sisterhood, being a member of both Flawless Brown and Kappa Gamma Chi sorority, where she served as treasurer. But perhaps this person's most noticeable involvement has been within our Residence Life program. A 3-year resident assistant, this person is the only known Emersonian to have been an RA on the Boston campus, the Castile Well campus, and at Emerson Los Angeles. Our recipient is described by staff advisors as someone who deals with stress, anxious people, and a million questions with continual grace and tact. By now, this recipient is undoubtedly knows who she is, and I'm sure many of you do as well. Oluwaseun Deborah Afolayan, could you please join me on stage while I continue to highlight your accomplishments? To say Deborah is kind is an understatement. One of our Residence Life supervisors described her as the most caring, dedicated, and thoughtful individual they have ever supervised. On campus, Deborah has developed a reputation as someone you can always count on. One staff member said, she might not be the flashiest of people, but she's certainly among the hardest working. She has a natural hustle about her. She's always moving and always looking to help. Her attitude is always positive, and she has demonstrated over and over again her commitment to the college and her fellow students. Deborah has definitely made an impact on Emerson and will undoubtedly continue to make the world a better place. And I'm confident that the kindness and spirit you have shared with Emerson will continue to serve you and those around you. So for your passion, spirit, and undeterred commitment to make a difference in the lives of everyone here, it's my pleasure to present you with the 2019 Dean's Award.
It's my privilege to award this year's President's Citation, which was established to recognize a member of the graduating class who has demonstrated in their time at Emerson the qualities that define our core values of integrity, intelligence, creativity, and most important, a commitment to civic engagement and community service at Emerson College. Our President's Awardee exemplifies all of these qualities, and throughout his years at Emerson, he continuously demonstrated an intellectual curiosity and a commitment to excellence and achievement. He is a self-starter and created his own major that combines film editing and journalism as part of an individually designed interdisciplinary program. As an inspiring, effective, and innovative leader, he has demonstrated a compassion, a commitment to service, and an idealism firmly grounded in practicality, whether working behind the scenes or in a leadership role. He has been a significant member of many student organizations and activities, such as the EVIes, Emerson Productions, Emerson Independent Video, and the Emerson Channel, where he was associate producer of Good Morning Emerson. He was an RA this year, and he's worked in the Campus Center and served alongside trustees and senior leaders as a student representative on the search committee for the Vice President for Administration and Finance. You might know him best, however, for his role in Emerson's Student Government Association as treasurer As treasurer, this student oversaw SGA's $1 million budget and streamlined processes for all student organizations. He has used his leadership positions on campus to advocate for students and to shed light on critical, if not complex, issues. Ian, come over here. As SGA treasurer, last year he helped develop an initiative in response to the national student debt crisis, offering solutions to issues of diversity and accessibility, communication, and academic support. And this year he created and produced a podcast series to document and provide a platform for the stories of students who have raised our collective awareness about student diversity, about equity and inclusion at Emerson. And just a few weeks ago, he received Emerson's Lion Pride Award in recognition of his significant and meaningful contributions to the college and for his ability to inspire others while instilling a sense of pride in our community. He brings to life Emerson's highest commitment and values and lives out every day that commitment to be the civic good that is so central to who we are and what we hope to be. I think you all now know who I'm talking about. It's my great pleasure and honor to award this year's undergraduate presidential citation to Ian Mant. Each year, a graduate student is recognized by the president for attaining the highest level of academic and creative achievement among their peers. This year's recipient is Melissa Tang from Civic Media Art and Practice program. Melissa, please. Melissa focused her thesis on designing an innovative program that reduces prison recidivism. In partnership with the Massachusetts Department of Corrections, Melissa's thesis resulted in a virtual reality-based recovery program for those who are incarcerated or recently released. Unlike existing VR training simulations, this model uses the voices of people who have lived through incarceration with the belief that mass incarceration requires the work of a community that includes people whom we often write off as criminals and addicts. The first pilot began in April at the South Middlesex Correctional Center, the state's only minimum security and pre-release prison for women. By including incarcerated and recently released people in an immersive storytelling process, the VR is realistic and evocative of emotions and memories, allowing mental health specialists to engage participants in very difficult conversations about their behaviors. Melissa's hope is that this will help to set recently released incarcerated adults on a more stable path and keep them from returning to prison. This summer, Melissa will be working with the Engagement Lab to expand the VR program through partnerships with the City of Boston and local mental health and recovery nonprofits. Melissa, who graduated from Rice University in economics, is receiving her MA in civic media, and it is my deep pleasure to present Melissa Tang with the 2019 President's Citation. Melissa.
Will the master's degree candidates please rise? President Pelton, on behalf of the faculty of Emerson College, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Fine Arts, and Master of Science who have successfully completed all requirements.
By virtue of the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Board of Trustees of Emerson College, I hereby confer upon you the appropriate master's degrees which you have so justly earned, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto, and I welcome you into the society of learned people and warmly into the distinguished company of Emerson alumni. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degree please rise? President Pelton, on behalf of the faculty of Emerson College, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science, who have successfully completed all requirements.
I don't know.
Have.
All right. Members of the class of 2019, by virtue of the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the appropriate baccalaureate degrees which you have so justly earned, with all the rights, the privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto, and I welcome you into the society of learned people and warmly into the distinguished community of Emerson alumni, and we will find you wherever you are. Congratulations, and please come forward to receive your degrees.
Where are my valedictorians, do you know? Awesome, thank you, sweetie.
President Pelton, may I present the class of 2019 valedictorians. Carmela Cullen, summa cum laude. Vendi Pavik, summa cum laude. President Pelton, may I present the honors program bachelor's degree recipients from the School of the Arts, Department of Performing Arts, Jordana Lynn Brody, cum laude. President Pelton, may I present the Honors Program Bachelor's Degree recipients from the School of the Arts, Department of Visual and Media Arts. Jillian Renee Anderson, magna cum laude. Hannah Dareth Antrim, magna cum laude. Natalie Jose Bush, cum laude. Amelia Dawn Channon, summa cum laude. João de la Rocha Vieira, cum laude. Maria Victoria Graff. Erin Graham, magna cum laude. Joseph Green, summa cum laude. Lincoln Nathan.
Alexandra Rose Jakubiski, cum laude. Wei Young Chang. Yun Yi Xiang. Ta Yun Jin. Christine Jones, cum laude. Ronald Mark Michael Jocelyn. Alex Louise Callagher, magna cum laude. Allison Dale Kanusher. Aya Karlieva. Haley Rebecca Cartman. Samuel Eli Kaufman, magna cum laude. Dalton James Kearney. Gabrielle Nicole Keller. Daniel Patrick Kelly, cum laude. Shaylin Pamela Kelly. Woohoo Kim. Cameron Everett Kingdon. Isabel M. Kingsep. William Ryan Kirkler, summa cum laude. Dina Carolyn Klein. Madeline Kobe. Patrick A. Kochich. Claire Marie Condella. Logan Howard Koverick, summa cum laude. Danielo Andrei Kowal. Daniel James Kowalski, magna cum laude. Rachel Lisa Labonte. Vivian Osu Letlau, cum laude. Law Jejun. Charles Leahy. Megan Leota. Miller Hughes Lepre. Daniel Brown Lewis. James Lewis. Andrew Lisciardi. Noah Light, magna cum laude. Chance McIntyre Little. Benjamin Matthew Loftus. Peter Lovejoy. Lanua Ma. Taylor Sue Mackesy. James David McElhaney. Nandini Mahubani. Anthony Raymond Mayerin. Dakota Jane Mazaloff. Christopher Joseph Malamachi. Sorry. Fatima Malo Torres Treba. Avery Mann, cum laude. Lauren Jude Maresca. Jacob Daniel Mariani, magna cum laude. Lucas Marcoux. Abigail Marta. Samuel Martin, magna cum laude. Anna Karina Masandrea. Alfonso Mateo. Kiani Amadi Jeranina Maynard, cum laude. Marco Mazzarelli. Nicole Jean McCammon. Isabel McCarthy. Amber Aline McLeese. Kayla Michelle McInerney. Michael Charles McGinty. Tyler David Mandelson. Michelle Vanessa Meneses, magna cum laude. Miles Metcalf, cum laude. Harrison Nicholas George Milton. Sonia Hamayu Mirza. Jacob Logan Mitchell. Revan Lawrence Cupono Moniz. Daniel Matthew Moore. Zachary Andrew Moravec. Elizabeth May Moray, magna cum laude. Cameron Michael Morin. Maxwell Morin. Shannon Elizabeth Mullins. Emily Mariana Murphy. John Murphy, magna cum laude. William Donald Murray. Kevin John Musliner. Santaro Muto. Nicholas O'Brien Nukulich. Kyle Satoshi Nakasaka. Hanako Georgia Natar. Isaac Allen Nelson. Jake Nelson. Meredith Nestor. Daniel Joseph Nevins. Ann Von Gwen. Robert John Nicholas III. Elizabeth Grace Northey. Bethany Emera Owens. Reed Pake. Michael Pepetti. Diana Patino. Allison Pat, Andrew Daniel Patnode. Pei Peng. Angel Jashu Perez. Crystal Nicole Perez, cum laude. Alyssa Nicole Perkins, cum laude. Noel Perota. Nathaniel Arthur Peterman. Stefano Domenico Patrafesa. Angelica Marie Petrozinio. Paul David Petrozzosi. Christopher Martin Pietro. Emily Ann Holinchek. Annabelle Lissy Poirot, cum laude. Connor Thomas Powitsky. Tant Sin Pyon. Kui Quinn, cum laude. Jayu Chu. Jose Ramirez Barchelo. Cale Evans Randall. Yesinia Rago. Celia Riley. Shafan Ren cum laude. Shelby Rose Rengifo. Kayla Daniata Riley. Nicole Rinaldi magna cum laude. Jeffrey Riviera. Georgia Viviana Rivera cum laude. No. Michael Roberts. Jordan William Robinson cum laude. Jonathan Barney Rogers. Eric Rosado. Zachary Rovner. Derek Lane Russell, magna cum laude. Robert Edmund Sebe. Mohammed Sadiq. Morgan Lynn Sage, cum laude. Joseph Salas. Julia Wu Saukonen. Rachel Kathleen Scalera. Haley Sarah Scanlon, magna cum laude. Kyle Richard Scarcelli, summa cum laude. Benjamin Jonah Schnattner, Gordon. Scott Schaefer. Mia Schomburg. Benjamin Schifiano. Brandon Schneider. Kilana Schwartz. Hannah Schwinn. Andrew James Scalafani. Simrin Nipak Sagal. Ashley Rose Sangstaken. Ralph Seppi. Yu Shao. Jenny Ann Shea. Wesley Samuel Shearman, magna cum laude. Ziying Shen. Scarlett Kyle Shiloh. Joseph Siegel. Brian Boyd Simonelli III, magna cum laude. Ruby Judith Simonoff. Tasha Elena Skotnicki, cum laude. Dylan Thomas Skudlarek. Jesse Benjamin Slade-Adona. Darren Michael Smith, summa cum laude. Lauren Smith. Spencer Smith. Nigel So, cum laude. Mateo Solis. Sam Solomon, cum laude. William Gibbs Solomon. Maggie Sperduti Matasivac, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Eleanor Steele. Thomas Caleb Steele, cum laude. Olivia Stein, cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Steinbauer. Elizabeth Lowe Ray Steinberg. Isabella Stefanos. Jonathan Michael Stern. Tyler Jonathan Summers. Sylvie Sloan Sutton, magna cum laude. Solomon Swirling. Christy Lynn Chesney, summa cum laude. Miriam Tannenbaum. Yuxing Tao. Nikolai Tarnisov. Marshall Tate. John Jeffrey Tavares. Vincent Teppi, magna cum laude. Eric Terracciano. Nicholas Philo McGovern. Tariq Robert Thompson. Daniel Thompson. Philip Colin Tice. Brandon Tialev. Tara Tiernan, cum laude. Julia Teresa Tranfaglia, magna cum laude. Connor Patrick Tracy. Rachel Alexandra Terwinski. Kaylee Teese Parlow. Joseph Thomas Turner. Luca Claudio Vacciani. August Carlton Vandeveer. Tiziana Cameron Vasquez. Balavelin Van Katassen. Kelly Elizabeth Vernon. Eric James Von Hippel. Henry John Fumbaka. Joseph Wagner. Lauren Kathleen Walsh. Tianyi Wang. Aiden Dakota Watt. Emma Rose Weeks, magna cum laude. Ling Yen Wei. Sydney Nicole Weiss. Brianna Denise Wellborn. Hollis Rain Wrestling. Jonathan Lawrence Wilder. Sam Wildstein. Vivian Betts Williams. Miranda Helen Wilson. Benjamin Roy Winters. Jordan Daniel Wold. Eustace Sven Christian Vreed, cum laude. Yungwan Wu. Joseph Yi. Yuhee Yim. Carmel Ioannis. Ethan Young. Michael Czar. Joseph Concetto Zapula, magna cum laude. Taylor Zavala. Wen King Yang. Yilin Zhang. Noah Benjamin Zimmerman Schwartz. Vina Thi Lee.
President Pelton, may I present the bachelor's degree recipients from the School of the Arts, Department of Writing, Literature, and Publishing. Shadin Al-Dosari, cum laude. Sarah Lynn Alexander. Vanessa Michelle Allen, summa cum laude. Alexandra Hope Amato. Eliza Kathleen Andrews. Maxine A. Baker. Rachel Magdalene Baltz, summa cum laude. Sarah Barber. Kaylee Elizabeth Bassel, cum laude. Chad Stephen Bauer. William Scott Bayman. Allison K. Bellarosa, magna cum laude. Bella M. Bennett, magna cum laude. Callie Lee Bissett. Gwendolyn Rebecca Black Graham. Thomas F. Brennan. Devin Christian Broking Knowlton, magna cum laude. Anastasia Tess Monet Brown. Kristen Ann Bruck. Lucia Isabella Capello, cum laude. Kayla Marie Carconi. Isabella M. Cartulero. Brady E. Cashman. Jenna Coleman, cum laude. Nicole B. Cooper. Kelsey Souza Costa, cum laude. Sarah K. Crocco. Delia T. Curtis, magna cum laude. Morgan Elizabeth Davies. Maxine Esta de la Husse. Leah Antoinette Dessa, cum laude. Zoe Kohler Eaton. McKinley G. Ebert. Melinda Kende Fakwade. Anna Pearl P. Feldman. Emma L. Goodwin, summa cum laude. Emma Catherine Grant. Olivia Jillian Hanscom. Lindsay Whitney Howard, magna cum laude. Brittany Rose Jarvis. Rebecca Louise Johnson, magna cum laude. Oliver Dean Kaplowitz. Sydney Kelly. Nicole Christine Lawrence, magna cum laude. Alexis Nicole Leda, magna cum laude. Sophie Camelia Lippitz. Nicole Luca. Abriana McGregor. William Mancini, magna cum laude. Gabriela Sostre Mancuso. Abigail Marie McAuliffe, summa cum laude. Tara Elizabeth McDonough. Teresa Rose Mealy. Jessica Christine Morris, magna cum laude. Julie Levin Moskowitz. Sarah Elizabeth Nagy. Jennifer Marie Patton. Alan Perez, summa cum laude. Julia Marilyn Perry, cum laude. Noreen Plabutong, magna cum laude. Jocelyn Marie Ponce, cum laude. Michaela Divine Pryor, magna cum laude. Megan Ashley Rabel, cum laude. James Wesley Randall. Colleen Ann Risavi, magna cum laude. Laura F. Rogers. Kennedy Lorraine Saristo. Milan A. Sachs. Rachel Tyler Celine. Basenta Samba Morti, magna cum laude. Rebecca Dallas Scarborough, cum laude. Emily Rose Sherney, summa cum laude. Catherine Irene Schmidt, magna cum laude. Erin Elaine Sherry, magna cum laude. Lindsay Alexis Simmons. Margot Lynn Sipel, cum laude. Samantha Lee Sersky. Jonathan Matthew Smith, cum laude. Patrick Gordon Swanson. Joey Teodosio. Bradley Michael Trumpfeller, summa cum laude. Sophia Isabel Tayenko Oy, cum laude. Sebastian Joseph Vericella. Bridget Ann Walsh, cum laude. Ryan Robert Whitesell. Jacqueline Caroline Withers. Noah Daniel Wood, cum laude. Jani Yazon, magna cum laude. Danielle Nicole Zarakowitz. President Pelton, may I present the bachelor's degree recipients from the Institute for Liberal Arts and Interdisciplinary Studies, Zoe Rebecca Alexiadis, cum laude. Natalie Marie Brady. Grace Ann M. Burns. Estelle Terry Iserloh. Christian A. Gibbons, magna cum laude. Zachary William Grimshaw. Erin Jean Hussey. Nicholas Kyle Lambrakis. Ian Mand, cum laude. Joseph Gregory Miranda. Caitlin Alexandra Nash. Zoe Berenson Spielman. Erin R. Swager.
President Pelton, may I present the bachelor's degree recipients from the School of Communication, Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders. Evelyn Samantha Alley. Alexandra Mary Ayala. Jess Ann Frost, summa cum laude. Mary Elise Gagliardoro. Stephanie Grace Galvin.
Eliza Catherine Grant, magna cum laude.
Alexandra Grace Hansen, cum laude. Isabella Lewant, magna cum laude. Tara Jessica Lionetti, cum laude. Natalie Helen Livack. Rachel Elizabeth Lord, cum laude. Jessica Lynn Mann, magna cum laude. Sergio Martinez. Jillian Elizabeth McCann. Madison Joy Knoll. Jillian Elise Piccoli, cum laude. Veronica Alexandra Reyes Laura. President Pelton, may I present the bachelor's degree recipients from the School of Communication, Department of Communication Studies. Nupur Amin. Ryan Peter Bartlett. Willa Bagoyan. Paul F. Buazis. Bailey Francis Bouchard, cum laude. Megan M. Bratton. Karen Brianna Carpenter, cum laude. Sabria Sena Chaudhry, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Beatty Collins. Victoria Leticia Deck, cum laude. Sean Powers Doherty. Derek Eng Wu. Alexis Fernander. Zushen Fu. Cassandra Ray Geckel. Elena Ghosh. Lindsay Paula Golden. Sarah Aliza Griffin. Kelly Morgan Guerrera. Gemma Marie Garazi, magna cum laude. Claire Gomez Guerrero. Sydney Hark Odess. George Carlo Havanias. Isabel J. Holloway, cum laude. Shuachen Hu, magna cum laude. Peyton Nkalingo. Peter Emerson Jones. James D. Klein. Aaron Jamie Krasinski, magna cum laude. Julia Carol Linger. Jennifer Litchfield. Paige Elaine Lopez. Timothy Manella. Allison P. Mitchell, magna cum laude. Cole Robert Moots, cum laude. May Harrington O'Neill, summa cum laude. Benjamin Walter Paco, summa cum laude. Stella Pomeranitz, cum laude. Courtney Ann Quinlan, magna cum laude. Emily Quinn, cum laude. Madeline Rameli, cum laude. Vivian Reben. Conrad Mack Session. Megan Tobin Schaefer, magna cum laude. Frida Alexandra Sternbach Rustroper. Ashley V. Urena, cum laude. Elise Marie Van Haven. Christine Elizabeth Bapspa. Rose Warren. Connor Wolf, magna cum laude. Jennifer Yumi Wood. President Pelton, may I present the bachelor's degree recipients from the School of Communication, Department of Journalism. Samantha Felicia Avalos, cum laude. Esma Balhuari. Samantha Marie Brachtkin. Carolyn Dolores Broderick, magna cum laude. Juliana Rose Bruna, summa cum laude. Thomas Bunting. Casey Campbell. Matthew Case. Yuting Chen. Max Rosemarin Cohen. Catherine Teresa Connolly. Matthew Paul Couture, summa cum laude. Erin Kathleen Crowley. Jacob Aiden Cutler. Maxwell Andrew DeLuca. Melissa Claire Falcone. Jacob Arthur Flynn. Kiana E. Francis Burkett. Natalie Kale Gale. Rebecca Gonzalez Abrijo. Shelby Rose Grebin. Olin Chastain Hayes. Bailey Raymond Kennedy. Jenna Nicole Lennon. Callista Angelica Leonardos. Zoe Rebecca Licata. Isabel Jessica Lichtenstein. Caroline David Long. Mary Catherine Malloy. Drayton Mayers. Thomas McGardell, cum laude. Paige Libby McLaughlin, magna cum laude. Hannah Charlotte McKean. Alexis Carol Mikulski. John Jefferson Newton II. Maria Nicoletta Nifakos. Philip James Gagan Noble. Aaron M. Nolan. Gloria C. Perez. Kimberly Ann Perry. Ezra Jack Plotkin. Amanda Lee Rosinski. Tyler John Neal Robichaud. Christopher Joseph Rogers. Madison Rose Rogers, cum laude. Nathan Clayton Rollins, magna cum laude. Nicole Elizabeth Ryan, summa cum laude. Medina Elich Shahi, magna cum laude. Jonas Alexander Spencer. Neil Ryan Sweeney. Chelsea Ann Swift. Emily N. Tanaka. Ruby Judith Brandel Vishnik. Kimberly Wilborn, magna cum laude. Maxwell Harris Wildston. Stephanie Lois Wittenbach. Malcolm Zelaya. Wiming Zhao. Alejandra Zimmerman, cum laude. Sydney Zuckerman, cum laude. Sage Alexandra Willis.
President Pelton, may I present the bachelor's degree recipients from the School of Communication, Department of Marketing Communication. Samantha Rose Ackerley. Clarissa Victoria Acosta. Swetha Ratnam Amarasen. Rolando Antonio Mercado Endaya IV. Rebecca Millie Bass, summa cum laude. Daniel Beals. Julian Ross Bernstein. Moira Kathleen Brennan. Cindy Bowie. Lauren N. Caruso. Lauren Rose Grace Carver. Amanda Grace Clark. Farah Cohen. Benjamin Joseph Crosby. Jacob Andrew DeTore, cum laude. Carly Marie Durant. Margaret Ann Eichler. Nicole Ann Eli. Margaret A. Engler. Brian R. Fisher. Evan Bradford Gillis. Samantha Goodman. Alexandra Elizabeth Goulet. Jeffrey Evan Gray. Jessica A. Gregorio, cum laude. Lindsay Ann Grillo, magna cum laude. Sarah Harari. Cole Wilson Harrison. Miranda J. Banks. Ashley Nicole Hoffman. Annie Huang. Victoria Iskaeva. Erin Paris Jaber, magna cum laude. Elena Ann Jones. Tallulah Jane Jones, cum laude. Connor Paul Jordan, magna cum laude. Katya Michelle Katznelson. Samantha Kelly, cum laude. Julian Farr Kendall. Sarah Kim. Sithikorn Kidayavacharapong. Andrea Lynn Kostovic, magna cum laude. Elise Caroline Cuscu, cum laude. Margaret Grace Lafamina. William Gregory Lantier. Alyssa Gloria La Rosa, magna cum laude. Kristen W. Lemley. Sui Lee. Eric Tang Lee, magna cum laude. Madison Elizabeth Martino, cum laude. Anne Murray Mashberg, summa cum laude. Kelly Ann McGarry, cum laude. Charlie Ann Melly. Hasib Mohammed Ali. Sarah Jean Malloy. John Reed Morgan. Tong Mu. Emma Newsom. Elizabeth Lee Noble. Amy Nicole Oberlander, magna cum laude. Keely Aiden Ruth O'Connell. Daniel Oken. Wendy Nazareth Ornelas. Emily Park. Mark Edward Perkowski. Anthony Joseph Puglisi, cum laude. Cheng Kian. Samantha Cyrene Reinstein, summa cum laude. Xiang Ren. Mary Jennifer Ricardo, cum laude. Natalia Sofia Rios Brasha. Christian Roman. Ramon Riza Rutherin. Melina Danya Salem. Christian A. Sawyer. Marissa Ann Secreto, magna cum laude. Josiah Seat. Emily Louise Alice Somita. Maria Helena Trimboli. Jeremy Hunter Villanueva. Trung Vu. Grace Emily Simone Warrenker. Judd Warshaw. Benjamin Isaac Zacuto. Hewang Zhang. Marnie Eliza Zipper. And one more for the Laundry School of Music.
3, 2, 1.
Pink smoke. Congratulations, seniors. Yay!
Mazel tov! You made it. It's graduation time.
Now take all that you've learned, all your creativity, your talent.
Think outside the box.
There's a big world out there, and wherever your path takes you,
Be open to all opportunities afterward.
What an exciting day this is for you.
You did it.
The real hustle begins now.
It's amazing what you can accomplish when you have the right people around you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations
to you, the newest graduates of Emerson College.
Congratulations
to the class of 2019 from the class of 1975.
Can't believe we've gone that far now.
You were literally zygotes when I went to Emerson College.
We are so excited to have you as our colleagues.
We look forward to seeing you in the field.
It's going to be nothing but the best. You just graduated from Emerson, of course.
Congrats, you survived 4 Boston winters.
Go home, take a pen to paper, and write down what you want to do.
The world is ready and waiting and needs to hear your voice.
The future is yours. Go forth and enjoy it.
Happy Mother's Day, by the way. You know, we live in an age of discontent. Our age is one of deep cynicism and distrust on all sides. The noisy drum beats of slogans, the jangling discords of the news, the great storms of sound bites that rain down ceaselessly upon the citizens make democracy vulnerable to those messages that are the loudest or most persistent rather than those that are most reasonable or well considered. And the waves and bits of detritus that we now endure surpass anything that previous generations ever knew. If independent judgment is the sine qua non of effective citizenship in a democracy, then we must admit that it is harder to maintain now than it has ever been before. And for this, much diligence is required. Social media in particular are the shining and alluring toys that aid us in this enterprise. We believe that we control them, however, they actually control us. A tweet here, a tweet there, an uncurated social media post everywhere, speeds around the continents, across countries, and in colleges, masquerading often as truth. Our insatiable hunger to reduce ideas and language to the lowest common denominator is now habitual and normative, and it is one of the great dangers to contemporary American society. Our discontent is a contagion that crosses all human boundaries of age, of gender, of skin color, of political affiliation, of religious beliefs or no beliefs at all, of the rich, of the poor, and everyone in between. Colleges and universities at one time, many, many years ago, when I was much younger and buoyed up by idealism, were thought to be places of critical thinking and, yes, of skepticism, but the kind of skepticism that withholds judgment until the dust settles over the facts. A place of disinterested reason and of unvarnished truth, of seeing a thing as it truly is in itself. But they, or rather we too, are not immune to this contagion. Happily, however, if we are lucky, every now and then something happens or someone appears who seems to break through the clutter. And I want to introduce you to Sheldon Brown, class of 14, Emerson College, performing arts major. Sheldon, come here. More than a year ago, Sheldon found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time, a moment that changed the course of his life. Others would have given up. Not Sheldon. He kept going. Others would have said, I can't. Sheldon said, I can. As a Chicago newspaper reported, on a late Saturday night, Sheldon was celebrating a friend's birthday over midnight chocolate chip cookies in the city. And on his way home, a stranger, someone not known to Sheldon, opened random fire, a bullet piercing his left buttock, tearing through his abdomen, fracturing one of his right pelvic bones, and finally lodging in his hip. As he woke in a hospital bed several hours later, he wondered how he would continue to work as an actor after everything his body had been through. And after a month in the hospital, followed by at-home care nursing, he slowly learned to walk again. He wore life-saving bags on his body to divert waste while he healed. 4 months after the shooting, he ended up back in the hospital with a blood infection and lost another 15 pounds. He said, if I was made to stay here on this planet, then there's some work I've got to do. Someone shot me, and he looked just like me. And I don't want to be the person that is living my life through vengeance, trying to say that there is a human being out there who is not a human being. Living in this world as a black man, it's dangerous, he said, because you're constantly living in a state of uncertainty. I want to be able to allow people to see us and see us as human beings and hear us and hear our voices. And that is the work that I want to do, and that is the work I've been blessed to do. Put another way, he said that he's more concerned about the circumstances that push someone to disregard human life than an arrest. I'm telling you, it takes a big, brave, and sympathetic heart to have said those words, to see the other, despite what had happened to him, as a human. No doubt horribly flawed or even deformed, but as a human. He said to be able to walk outside and say, this is who I am and this is my body, that's a beautiful thing. To walk out into the world as you are and say, here I am. I can't live in a state where people are making me feel like I don't belong. Of course I belong, because I was shot and I'm alive. 7 months later, after major surgery and rehabilitation, piles of bills and 35 pounds lost and regained, Sheldon recovered enough to leave his crutches behind and to travel to Los Angeles for the first time. He acted in a film in New York. He appeared in a storefront theater production and booked a leading role in This Bitter Earth at a local Chicago theater. Yes, Sheldon, you do belong. You spoke power to truth, but you did so and continue to do so with remarkable resiliency, humility, clarity, and compassion. In certain religious traditions, we call what you have done grace, an unmerited gift of love. You are a hero in our very prickly age, in which heroes like you seem to be in very short supply. As part of our commitment to our enduring values, Emerson established a President's Award 5 years ago to recognize leaders in our community and around the world whose actions have made a positive impact on society. And this award is given to individuals whose creative courage advances social justice, whose selfless action betters the lives of others, and whose outstanding leadership advances the common good. Sheldon Brown, class of 14, Emerson College, exemplifies all of these traits and more. Sheldon, you exemplify hope in a human form. Here's what Nelson Mandela, one of my heroes, had to say after his nearly 3-decade imprisonment at Robben Island, shortly before his ascendancy as the president at the very nation that had imprisoned him. He said, in those long and lonely years, my hunger for the freedom of my own people became a hunger for the freedom of all people, white and black. I knew as well as I knew anything that the oppressor must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. Man who takes away another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. He is locked behind the bars of prejudice and narrow-mindedness. The oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. His was a heroic temper and a nobility that changed the course of history in modern South Africa and beyond. And in him we saw not only hope, but we saw the nobility of hope, a nobility whose expanse is difficult for most of us to apprehend, especially in today's world of discontent. So to the graduating seniors, I want you to remember Sheldon, who is one of us, who is one of you, and I want you to remember what he stood for and why. I want you to let idealism and resiliency and hope, and above all, compassion, to be your guide in life. You put your trust in these and everything else will take care of itself wherever your profession or path in life may lead you. So Sheldon, I want to give you a gift from this class to you on behalf of who you are and what you represent. So when you depart from these halls of learning, may your life work be of noble note. May you find meaning in your commitment to others. And may your memories of Emerson, whatever they may be, that they be undying. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Now, may I ask the audience to rise and join in the singing of the Alma Mater, and afterwards, please remain standing for the benediction, the closing, and the recessional. Thank you.
Graduates, as you prepare to go forth into this world, carrying your wild creativity, your deep compassion, and inquisitive minds into new communities and new adventures, I leave you with these words of blessing from Adrienne Marie Brown. You are a miracle walking, and I greet you with wonder. I can never know the struggles you went through to get here, but I know you have swum upstream, and at times it has been lonely. I want you to know I honor the choices you made in solitude and honor the work you have done to belong. I honor your commitment to that which is larger than yourself and your journey to love the particular container of life that is you. You are enough. Your work is enough. You are needed. Your work is sacred. You are here, and we are grateful. Just as you graduates have blessed our community during your Emerson journey, so too do we wish unending blessings upon each one of you. May wisdom, strength, and courage accompany you each day that follows, and may you know that you have left this community a stronger, better place because you were in it. Congratulations, and go in peace.
Thank you for joining us today. I'd like to invite graduates, family, and friends to a reception immediately following the conclusion of our ceremony today. And congratulations once again to the class of 2019.